Mr. Gary Tate here. Doing part 3 of my chapter 3, Continue the Fight, from my book called Live Now, Continue the Fight, PTSD and TBI. This is going to concentrate on 10 ways to recognize post-traumatic stress disorder. After a loss, it is normal to go through a natural grieving process. Sometimes, however, after a tragedy such as a sudden traumatic event, feelings of loss surface several weeks or months after the tragedy occurred. This is called post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Recognizing these symptoms in yourself or others is a first step toward recovery and finding appropriate help and treatment. I have some that I've dealt with, and I put little asterisks in the book to show the ones that I had experienced or have experienced. The following information is another excerpt taken from a paper published by Point Man International called Reveille. So I want to give them credit. This is where I got it from. Number 1, re-experiencing traumatic events through vivid memories or flashbacks. Now, I've had many of these. Most, of course, came at night. Feeling emotionally numb. Number 3, feeling overwhelmed what would normally be considered everyday situations and feeling diminished interest in performing normal tasks or pursuing your usual interests. Crying uncontrollably. Now, this one is one of my most common fears for a long time. And I think it still is at times. You know, they say you can control emotions. I don't know if ones are so deep-seated, or they seem to be. All I can do, let me speak for myself, is ask for God's help. Yes. 5, isolating oneself from family and friends and avoiding social situations. Well, I gotta say, I didn't put it in the book, but I definitely try to avoid funerals, wakes, things like that. It's just not, brings back too many memories for me. But when it's something I need to go to, I go. Let me just say that. Relying occasionally, or increasingly, occasionally was true too, but for me, on alcohol or drugs to get through the day. I had many times when I did drink to be social. Yet it also became a way of escape from my thoughts and feelings. You know, they say too drunk to know the difference. Sometimes that can be true. Or they say drown the emotions. Not really a good thing. Been there, done that. 7, feeling extremely moody, can do that, irritable, angry, suspicious, or frightened. I can become quite moody. Oh yes. I try to monitor my blood pressure, as this is a great indicator I need to relax. Yeah. That's for sure. And sometimes it's not just my blood pressure. I don't know how you want to say that. When you have that sense of emotions rising like a volcano, maybe it's only me. Yes, it's time to cool down. 8, having difficulty falling or staying asleep. Sleeping too much and experiencing nightmares. Now, I said, I've had many bad dreams, and I have been up and down some nights for sure. Number 9, feeling guilty about surviving the event or being unable to solve the problem, and harboring guilt over not being able to change the event or the past, prevent the disaster. Having made it through the nighttime bell that before I saw the angel of death, I often ask myself, why did I survive? Why? Because God had another plan. But there are those thoughts that can come to you, I think. Why me? Why was I the one that made it? And there are so many others that didn't. Feeling fear or a sense of doom about the future. I can question the future, for sure. I don't know if it's fear, because I know fear is not, how can we say this? Fear isn't a bad thing, except when it grips you and it stops you from living. How's that? For me, okay? There are things that we need to fear, like stepping out in the middle of a street while oncoming traffic, for instance. But anyway, just in our future, just trust that God is there, no matter what happens. Even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, Psalm 23, gotta say it. He's there, and at the end of the day, I believe I'll be with him. So the future is not really set here. I know when I set my and there's nothing wrong with having purpose, plan, destiny on earth, but I don't think the end goal, let's just say, we're all going to make it somewhere. Let me just put it that way. That where you go is very important. Live. I would suggest you make sure you know where that destination is. If you're not sure, let me just put it this way. Remember the movie Forrest Gump, where the captain got on top of the mast as well and then screaming at God? You might as well do it, because if you're there, he knows you're there, and, just give it out. Sometimes, just gotta let it go. Alright, enough said on that. I find walking around, for me, in the nature center, just kind of a nature like or forest preserve, now this may not be you, and just not yelling, but just kind of relaxing and enjoying that type of atmosphere. And dwelling on that, I know, just saying it for me, beyond it all, God loves me, God has a plan, and if I choose to walk, I guess the word would be wisely, because the best word I can use, I choose the right path. The path that leads towards, the biggest word right now is love. A lot of pastors, and I'm just saying, are talking about love. God loves us. We should love him, and we should love others. Feelings of good. But anyway, I'll end this with the VA study on PTSD that came from the VA back in it was mandated by Congress in 1983 and initiated in 1984, and it was a 4-year study that, of course, was conducted under a VA contract, which means they got paid. All right, hey, all right. Here are some of its findings. More than 8.5 million individuals served in the U.S. Armed Forces during the Vietnam era. Over 40 million Americans, nearly 20% of our population, have a distinct, direct personal link to a Vietnam era vet. 15.2%, or 479,000 male Vietnam veterans, have been diagnosed as suffering from PTSD, and that was back then, okay? 11.1% currently suffer from a partial disability. 30% of all male Vietnam veterans have had PTSD at some point in their lives. I am questioning the 30% personally. maybe all, and I'm just saying anybody with combat, I'm just saying it, with combat experience probably has it. 6, during the course of their lives, more than half of all Vietnam veterans have had PTSD. The suicide rate of Vietnam vets is 86% higher than their peer group. And I would like to see them come out with a current stat, because they say 22 veterans every day are killing themselves, our current guys. I believe the rate would probably be higher. 70% of fatal one-car accidents have been Vietnam veterans. The Vietnam vets' divorce rate has doubled the national average. Stats are. So anyway, I just wanted to end that, and maybe we're going to something other. If you can end it here, and if you'd like to contact me at GaryTape4@gmail.com, we can get into stress and finding relief. We can actually talk about TBI or PTSD, and I don't know if there's anything else you'd like to, I have keys in our recovery. Just doing section by section right now. So, again, Minister Gary Tate at GaryTape4@gmail.com. God bless. Thank you very much.